Growing up, I was a have-not, single mom, no pop, slept with just a single eye, closed like a cyclops. When I was 12, introduced to the ring, so why not do anything to escape my block? Turns out the kid's hands are white hot, inches from oblivion. Jazz became the path to a brash Olympian. Protagonist, needed obstacles to grow, put in work till my hands broke, still nothing to show. Never rich, never had to quit to order fish and chips. Kicked off the fight team, slipping close to the abyss. Then they brought your boy back, faced against the champ, got the win, but the injuries had just begun to ramp.
What's up, everybody? We back again, ringside right now. With the crew, Clint, Curtis. And before we get started, let's be sure y'all hit that notification bell, like and subscribe, leave a comment below so we can give y'all a shout out. Now, if you've been paying attention to our videos, and hopefully you have, we've been talking a lot about WWE, but we really haven't said a lot about AEW. But of course, with the FTKO movement that we got going on right now, hey, it's better to start watching something else. So AEW is definitely a better spot to start watching wrestling and don't have to worry about a lot of different type of interference. So with that said, we know they got Double or Nothing coming up. Now, of course, the main match to me is definitely have to be the Darby Allin MJF match. Darby Allin winning the championship, and it's a hair. MJF's hair is at stake in this match. So what do you think, fellas? I mean, given our Darby Allin had the belt probably a month and defended the title like 6 times within that month. Now that's the definition of a fighting champ.
Yeah. Yep.
So with that said, how do you think that's going to go with that?
Not to mention a fighting champ and the least likely candidate to be a fighting champion. Honestly, I thought Sammy Guevara would have done this before, but I digress. But let's be honest. MJF has rewritten the book on great heel work. We all know this. And I don't know. This one's hard to call. I may end up, you know what? One part of me really wants to see MJF bald and see where that really goes.
I mean, I think we all do. Are they going to do it?
That part.
No. I can't go. I cannot pick against MJF, but if he goes bald, great. But I'm not gonna hold my breath for it. MJF for the win.
I'm going to go also with MJF because 1, I don't think they're actually going to shave his head, and 2, him winning the title again would be it would solidify him as the top heel of AEW because throughout the course of AEW. The one constant is MJF being the biggest asshole in wrestling, and he has built himself up as the top heel. I think even bigger heel than the Death Riders right now. So, bigger heel than
I should say he's the biggest heel in wrestling, period.
Not
just AEW, just all of wrestling, period. He's the biggest heel.
The family.
Yeah, Don Callis.
Thank you, Don Callis.
Sadly, they have redeemed.
But I think he's the biggest heel in the company and possibly in all wrestling right now. And the biggest heel thing right now would be for him to win the belt back and hold it for a while until that next top star, that next top babyface they want to book is going to come up.
I think this is one of those situations where it's the opposite. You know how you'll put the title on someone because you're trying to boost them up. I think this is one of those things that you put the title on Darby to boost up MJF to be an even bigger heel.
Yeah.
And of course, to cap it off, him getting the title back.
Yeah, because you're looking at finally Darby got the belt and then you take it right back from him. Boo. That's heat right there just for winning the belt. And he's going to be so cocky with it. He's probably going to cheat to win it. So all that goes to say, it's going to solidify him. Also, it continues to push Darby because he's going to always have that former world champion title behind him. And, former world champion automatically puts you near the top of the card, even though it's former, because you've held the belt, it adds that status symbol to your name. So
and beat MJF on top of that. Who does that?
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe he'll win with a handful of tights.
There you go.
There you go. You can get this type of merch. Another good match on there I see is going to be John Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly for the Continental Championship. I look for a lot of blood, a lot
For
of hurts.
Moxley.
Yeah.
A lot of
But that's going to be one of those nice, hard hitting matches. You know what I'm saying?
oh
um,
man.
I don't know. That could go either way with the story they have going on right now. So Moxley, I think, is a bigger story than the conglomeration. So I'm going to say Moxley. Even though I could, aside from that, I could realistically see Kyle O'Reilly winning that belt. I could realistically see Kyle O'Reilly beating Moxley. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going to
My
go with
heart
Moxley.
my heart is pulling for Kyle O'Reilly. My mind wants to go John Moxley, but the now with he's got going on with Osprey, nah, I gotta go Moxley. But it's going
And that's also part of it because I think the story with Osprey is going somewhere, and to keep that up, Moxley can't help train Osprey if he's losing his own belt. So to keep that story going, I think Moxley has to retain.
I'm telling you, if that last match on Dynamite is any indication, you better have all your snacks in place when the bell rings.
As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Osprey was the one that took the belt from Moxley.
I think that's what they're building toward at some point. The student overtakes the teacher type scenario. If you really want to think about it like that
Or
aspect. So I think they're building toward that. And with that said, yeah, Moxley keeping the title makes the most sense.
yeah,
From that. Now there's a bunch of like multi-person tag matches on the card. Well, I shouldn't say a bunch, but there's definitely like two. It's like two big ones. We'll go into the first one, the Stadium Stampede match, where you got Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, and the Elite going against the Demand and the Don Callis family and the Dogs. I mean, that's a huge match right there. That's like that's the crazy match. I'm gonna
yeah.
call that the crazy match.
I mean, that Stadium Stampede is a crazy match anyway. But I mean, they got because when you look at the teams, you go, it's so random, but they took like 3 or 4 different angles and just put all in one match. Because Jericho has an angle against the Demand, the Hurt Syndicate's in there, the Elites got they're feuding with the Dogs, and then Andrade is just kind of there because he's forced into it. So it's a lot going on. Let me ask you this: Have the baby faces ever lost Stadium Stampede? Have the heels ever
The
won?
first one the first time they won, and then because the Inner Circle lost the first one, and then they came back and won the next one.
I thought the first one was the Elite versus the Inner Circle.
Yeah, the Elite won that one.
Okay, and then okay. Um, for this match, I'm going to go with Jericho's team, just because I don't see. I mean, this is one of those matches where it's just to please the crowd. It's not going to really push any angles because even after that match is over, the Elite is still going to be feuding with the Dogs. Uh, Andrade is going to still have his issues with the Don Callis family. The Hurt Syndicate is still going to do their own thing. So they're putting all these angles into one match, but after they all go their separate ways, I think they're going to continue those angles. So just to give the audience a cool match, a bunch of cool moments, and have them not so much go home happy because it's not the main event, but the crowd pleaser match, I think the baby faces will win.
Not the main course, but just a bunch of your favorite ice cream with a bunch of cookies and gummy worms.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. I'm
Oh,
kind of
by the
with
way,
you
I'm
guys.
going
I
Team
think
Jericho. I forgot to
Jericho's
make
team.
Oh, and all that, I forgot to make my pick. Team Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Jericho, even though I do like the heel work that Ricochet has been doing,
Yeah.
despite the tweet controversy that he had, which he apologized for. I mean, this is the most character work we've seen out of Ricochet, period, since he was Prince Puma.
Yeah.
So but with that said, I'm Jericho and the Hurt Business. Yeah, I'm pretty much rolling with them for that one. Now, a dream match, especially if you follow Japan, New Japan, you have Okada versus Takeshita. That's for the international championship. There will be a lot of red chests, a lot of strong style moves going on. What do you guys think about that?
Well, first of all, I think this is going to be the match of the night.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
not Joe and Ospreay, well, hell, to be honest, Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly could be the match of the night for all we know.
let's put it like this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to pull back my comment saying it's a match of the night because this is AEW. Who knows? But as far as my prediction, I'm going to say Takeshita because I believe that in New Japan they were building him up to kind of be the next Okada anyway, and seeing as how AEW has that relationship with New Japan, plus Tony Khan kind of bases a lot of his booking on that, and Okada has had that belt for how long?
Since its inception, since it was created to be the international title at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's ever lost the belt.
Yeah, I think they kind of made it for him. So I'm going to go with Takeshita because that's going to push the story further. Also, the big in-ring 5-star legend versus the kind of up and coming, not up and coming, but up and coming compared to Okada, and then just going to make more tension within the Don Callis family. So I'm going to go with Takeshita.
There are pigs flying outside of the house. I mean, because me and Clifton, we're agreeing on so much that doesn't happen. But Takeshita, because hey, every dog's got his day, and Takeshita needs to have his day against Okada.
Yeah, I think he's due, versus Okada anyway. And plus, it'll be cool to kind of give him a title run. And especially winning it off Okada to get that title run, I think will make it so much better for him to get that win.
And
now you also got the men's tag. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, I also think it's going to lead to him getting kicked out of the Don Callis family also. Because it's kind of that Kenny Omega thing where Don felt like Kenny wasn't listening to him anymore and kind of trying to do his own thing, so he kicked him out. I think he's going to do the same thing with Takeshita. Takeshita isn't listening to me anymore. I can't control him, so we're going to kick him out. And I think eventually Andrade is going to join him, and we'll have a whole nother feud with that, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing you can say about AEW is for their pay-per-views, they actually make sure they stack the card.
They sure do.
Yep.
If you look up and down this card, it's so stacked. It's like, I want to watch this. I would pay money to watch this.
Not only that, but just the matches. I mean, they already go crazy on TV. They go crazier on pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. They go way crazy.
You're just gonna have a whole bunch of great matches.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time
to do with them.
I can't remember the last time, if any, I saw AEW pay-per-view where I was disappointed in the match quality.
I don't think there's ever been a time because you're gonna get good matches. The worst case scenario, you're probably gonna have a decent match.
Yeah.
Well, remember what we always say about AEW was it wasn't the fact of them actually putting on a product in the ring. It was the storylines to build up to that product.
It was the booking.
That was always our gripe with that,
Yeah, and it seems to have gotten better. So
it's starting to some of the stuff is starting to make sense why people are beefing the way they're beefing. So
they get it again.
So another good match, even though it's dealing with a couple of old folks in it, quote unquote. You got FTR with Stokely versus Cope and Cage, more or less. It's been fun seeing them go back and forth to build to this match to eventually give the tag titles to Cope and Cage. But I mean, FTR has always been one of those guys that when they first came out, I was like, okay, this is the old school tag team wrestling that I missed.
Yeah.
You know, it
like
was that old
the
school
Brain
Four
Busters.
Horsemen. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brain Busters, exactly. So these guys are definitely a throwback to that. But Cope and Cage, of course, the nostalgia of them, WWE run is, Christian and Edge. I mean, what do you can't get any better than that.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Hardy Boys are still out there winning tag titles, so why not?
That's true.
Yeah,
Plus,
but the Edge did say in an interview that he wants to start winding down, and he's up there. I mean, he is really up there in age. So, and Christian can still go. I mean, his heel work has always been second to none. But oh man, you just love to. I mean, maybe it's just me, probably you too, Clinton, but you just love hearing the stylings of our favorite raggedy bitch as like Big Stokes. I mean, FTR's taking it. I got FTR to retain.
oh, you got
Oh.
FTR retainer. Okay, I actually have. I was going to say Edge and Christian, Cope and Cage winning because I mean you can't have those two guys in your company and not put the tag titles on them at least once. One. Yeah, I agree. Edge is probably winding his career down. Yes, I'm going to call him Edge, but I mean, who say you can't have one last title run before you do? So I think they're going to have a nice little nostalgia title run for a few months, and then they'll drop the belts to an up and coming tag team, and he'll ride off into the sunset. But I just don't see them quitting. I know Cope isn't going to quit. I doubt Christian's going to quit just because he's just too cocky and conceited to quit. Which, by the way, I love how Christian has reinvented his character. I mean, it's like on Jericho level. But I just unless
His heel work in AEW is definitely his best work.
yeah, it is. Well, his best work since
So
TNA.
right.
Yeah, his
Well,
best work.
no, I want to say it's even better than TNA.
Hmm,
Really, because the whole thing that he had with Jack Perry and that. Well, first of all, that was just vicious to begin with. What he
yeah.
was doing with Jack, which but that just further shows how. But to your point, Clint, I don't think this is going to be the swan song for Cope and Cage, so I don't see them losing this match.
Yeah.
Because their careers are on the line. They have to retire if they lose this match.
Well, it
So
retires
I
a
don't
tag
see
team,
them.
not individual, but yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I mean, unless they
Yeah.
drag Beth out again, but Judgment Day already did that. So,
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't do the same trick twice, right? Right? I
I
hope
mean,
not. Beth needs to stay home.
Yeah. Stay at home, Beth. But yeah, I think that this will be their last tag, which will eventually end up being their, because they basically came in together, and I think they're going to leave together, more or less. So that's why I feel like this will be their last run as a tag team, and then eventually they'll, you know, it's probably going to go from retire as a team as this stipulation to now retire period from wrestling, more or less. So now they can move it on to the next phase. So at least that's where I feel like it's going to go with that. And then of course another title match. You got the women's AEW women's title match. You got Thekla. I hope I'm saying it right. Sheeta,
Heck, look.
Hikaru Sheeta, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. How do you guys see that one going?
Uh, Tekla has been on a pretty good run as a champion. Hikaru Shida is doing this whole heel turn thing. And I say whole heel turn because it's different the way they're doing it. She's not outright turning heel, but it's real subtle. So I like the way they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Tekla just because there are so many, because it's a four-way match. I think Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander are going to get in each other's way. Uh, because if it was one-on-one, I would probably say one of them would want to win it back. But With it being a 4-way, I'm going to go with Tekla.
Ooh, this is going to be a fun one to watch. Oh man, this is tough to call. Oh man. Um, I'll go to I will go tackle to retain then. We'll just go tackle to retain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I think it's gonna be a surprise. It wouldn't surprise me if Hater won the belt. Just so you can create the whole thing with her and Statlander to extend that out. Now, what I would like to see, but it's not going to happen. If Tekla was to retain, I would love to see Tony Storm return at that point.
That would be
Oh,
good. I would like to see that.
love me some time with Tony Storm.
I mean,
But I think,
if you really want a shocker, Sheeta will win. That would be a shocker.
yeah, that's true
And just
too.
go full blown heel. But I'm still going to go with Tekla because I think they want to have a nice long title reign, and she just won it a few months ago, didn't she?
Yeah, I think it's like a little over a month, about 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, so I think they want to give her a little more time with it.
And that is something you can give AEW a little credit for now versus maybe last year and the year before. They are now investing in having longer title reigns.
Yeah.
For their champions. Because remember, at one point they were switching like the mid card titles that they have was almost switching people like every other week or every other month at one point. So, but now they're actually getting decent runs. So I think, to you guys' point, I could see Thekla kind of winning, but I would like to see Jamie Hayter win it. Just to go ahead and now you create something with her and Chris Statman.
Let me ask you this:
to go even further into that, I should say.
When is All In London?
Isn't that usually like August? It's usually right around SummerSlam time, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, we can look it up when.
I think you're right. You know what? To add to my point of picking Tekla, I think we're going to see Tekla versus Hayter 1-on-1 at All In London, and she's going to win the belt there.
Okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that
because, and I'm jumping ahead, but I also think Will Ospreay is going to win the whole thing. I think he's going to win the Owen, but we'll get to that. But I think they're going to put over, the hometown guys in All In.
That definitely makes sense. And before we get into the Owen Hart Memorial matches, let's talk about a couple of other matches real quick. We have, I think these will be shown on Zero, if I'm not mistaken, 0 Hour, I should say, where we got Divine Dominion going against Zeta Steel and Viva Van. It's a 5-minute tag team elimination match. Whereas if Steel and Van, if they win in under 5 minutes, they actually get a shot at the women's tag.
Zeta Steel
so,
and Van.
I don't know much about them. I mean, I know about Megan Bayne.
I know a little bit about Viva Van. I've seen her. I don't know a lot about Zeta Steel. Here's the thing. If it wasn't for the 5-minute rule, I would automatically say Divine Dominion. I'm still going to say Divine Dominion. I think they're going to beat them in less than 5 minutes. I think they're going to make it really close, like 450 before saying opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They'll make it close. Don't make it interesting. But the last second, they're just going to snap. Divine Dominion's going to snatch it away.
I'm with you guys on that. I think that's the way it's going to roll.
Because
and then we got to.
I'm sorry. I was going to say because if they want to do a big upset like that, they would put it on the main show. Because at 0 Hour, I think they're just going to give us the expected result.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Now they also got like a big 10-man tag where you got Boom and Doom and a conglomeration. Going against Shane Taylor Promotions, well, Shane Taylor Promotions, I didn't realize they had grown as big as it did because at one point it was just only 3 guys. Now it's like full on 5 guys.
Yeah, I see. Anthony Ogogo, I didn't know he had joined. I knew Lee Moriarty was in, and
Right.
Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo. I didn't know about Anthony Ogogo. I hadn't seen that name in so long.
Yeah, I know.
But as far as my pick, they're gonna. I mean, it's the pre-show. They're gonna go with Boom and Doom because with AJ and Big Justice, there it's kind of like a celebrity match almost. If you count them as celebrities,
Okay.
and you got Mark Briscoe coming back, and then Orange Cassidy. I mean, you're gonna put those guys over, of course.
Well, Briscoe, he had a great match with Ciampa Wednesday last night.
Oh yeah.
That was a
But
real
okay,
good.
so that was his match coming back. But that was his first match back. He had been gone for a while. So
Yeah, because I think Ciampa had took him out for a second.
yeah. So I think they're gonna go over.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see Shane Taylor Promotions, get a bigger push, but it's realistically it's not going. They're not going to get the same push they got in the original Ring of Honor.
I would like to see that
Yeah.
too, but I got Boom and Doom winning that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with that. Besides, I'm an Orange Cassidy fan. I don't want to see Orange Cassidy lose.
Yeah.
And so, as you alluded to earlier, Clint, now we got the Men on Heart Cup
There's
matches.
also a trios match. There's also a trios match in 0 Hour. Death Riders and the Ops.
Okay, that must have been just added. So
yeah, I'm looking at it now, and I wonder who's going to win that. I think.
Well, I think if you pushing Anthony Bowens to be in the Ops, and he got his T-shirt last night, so he's officially in the Ops. I think you don't add him unless you're really going to do something with his work, and he's doing that. It's not an acknowledge me like Roman type of acknowledge me, but he kind of had like that type of moment backstage when he got his shirt.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go with the Ops because I see Wheeler just eating the pin from Bowens probably. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My heart, I got to go with my heart. I got to go with the Ops. I mean, I'm really pulling for Bowens to really get over on this one.
Yeah, if they were going to win, they would put Pac in that match.
Right. And did they announce another women's quarterfinal match? Because I know the original card they only have one, but that should be two. Or did they have someone in advance already?
So I see Athena and Mina Shirakawa, and for the match with Alex Windsor, which is who Willow was supposed to wrestle, they have a wild card. So I don't know exactly what they're. Well, okay. Alex Windsor is going to face a mystery wild card participant, but I'm not seeing anything saying that it's going to happen at Double or Nothing. I'm not seeing it on the card.
So they're going to save it for Wednesday, more than likely.
Probably so.
To be a shocker.
Plus, I mean, they got 12 matches. I mean,
supposedly, Selena Vega's about to sign with AEW. Supposedly,
that would be cool. That would be cool.
I'd be all for that.
But is Zelina Vega going to beat Alex Windsor though?
Nah,
not on her debut.
The way they're pushing Alex Windsor, and she's just coming in the door now.
Absolutely not.
So the other women's match, we got Athena versus Mina Shirakawa. I mean, Athena is the forever champion.
Yeah,
being how she is. I think this would be another championship to add for her. So I think she's going to go ahead and win and go to the semifinals.
Yeah, I got to go with Athena on this one. Hey, as a minion, I got to please my mistress. That was not the way it was supposed to come out.
Hey, you said what you said.
So I am going to go the other way. I love Athena and I want her to win, but I think this match is just to get Athena on the pay-per-view, but they really want her to focus on Ring of Honor. So I don't see her making a lot more appearances. So I really think Mina Shirakawa is going to win this match because they're kind of pushing her along with this storyline with Tony being out. And I don't know if that's going to play into this or not, but I think she's going to advance at least, another match in this tournament. I don't think she's going to win it, but she's going to advance at least another match. So I'm going to go with Mina here. Even though I would
Okay.
agree with Athena winning and having another belt, but I don't think they're going to go that route.
We'll see. Then, of course, you got the men's quarter finals, which these two matches, if they weren't quarterfinal matches, if they were just regular pay-per-view matches anyway, these would be awesome matches regardless.
Yeah.
First of all, let's go ahead and start with Samoa Joe and Will Ospreay. Will probably be the most hard-hittingest match.
See, that's why I took back my statement about Okada and Okada and Takeshita being the match of the night, because I remember that they're going to have this match. I'm like, well, that could be the match of the night. Yeah, it's going to be hard hitting. Those are my top two contenders for match of the night. As far as who's going to win, I'm going to go ahead and put out there. Ospreay is going to win the whole thing because, like I said,
Okay.
MJF is going to win the title, and he's going to defend and drop it to Ospreay at All In. That's what I'm going with.
Makes sense.
Definitely makes sense, especially when you're trying to one-up John Moxley. I got Ospreay winning as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ospreay as well. To set up that scenario for All In London that you mentioned. And of course, the other match you got Swerve and Bandito. I mean, what more can you say?
Let me ask you a question. Why is Swerve all of a sudden going after Bandito? It just seemed to come out of nowhere. Bandito doesn't have a title. Bandito's just sitting around minding his own business, and Swerve is going around beating up Cowboys looking for him. Why is that? That was before they even announced this match, before they even announced them being in the Owen Cup.
That's a good question.
And then why make it the first round match? Why not, build up to it?
I usually be willing to give a heel turn a chance, but it's like, wait a minute, what is it? What are we doing here? It's like, it's like, what direction is this really going?
Yeah, Swerve's past heel runs have been really good. This one seems really forced, especially after he was a face for so long and so popular. It seems forced this time. And we were just talking about how AEW was doing better with their booking, but then we get to this.
Yeah. I think it's a way to get Swerve in there just to get Swerve in there. And I think in this case, to kind of push along the heel aspect, you let Bandito win and you let Swerve cost him the semifinal match. So now you can push it to go on a little bit longer between him and Bandito.
So you think Bandito's gonna win?
I can see it. Let's put it like this. I see a scenario where Bandito wins and Swerve, being pissed, gets his revenge by costing Bandito in the semifinals. And so now you can create a match for All In London between those two. And that way you don't have to worry about pushing Swerve into that main title mix right now because you have him dealing with this situation.
I see it going the other way. I see Swerve winning this one and Bandito costing him a later match. And that creates the match for All In.
Because that could be it. That could work.
If you're pushing Swerve like this, do you really want him to? And you've been hyped up this match, and it's not. Bandito has had no part of this feud. It's all been Swerve. Swerve's looking for him. Bandito. Swerve's coming after him. It would be silly to push Swerve in this feud and then have him lose that match instead of having him win and then getting more traction out of it. So, because if he loses, he's just going to look stupid.
Especially as the so-called most dangerous man in AEW.
Exactly. If he loses this match, even if they push it further and try to stretch it out, he's just going to look crazy. I think he needs to win the first match, and then you stretch it out, and then have Bandito get over. So I think I'm going to go with Swerve for this one.
Yeah, and when he will, I'm going Swerve as well.
So as you see, fellas, this Double or Nothing card is stacked top to bottom.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a pay-per-view I want to see. So you guys tell us what you think. What do you think about predictions? Do you have your own predictions? Leave a comment below. Like and subscribe. Hey, hit us up. Let us know what we can do different that you would like from us. Because there's some things we got in the works that we thinking about doing. But it's always good to hear from you guys. So let us know. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Then, of course, you have to get merch, such as the FTKO, because, that's the energy we on right now.
Yeah.
And Clint, tell them where we can find merchandise like this.
Oh, that's going to come from Handful of Tights. Just look for Handful of Tights in TeePublic and Redbubble, or you can just type it all in Google, one word, Handful of Tights.
You know what? The best way to win is with a handful of tights. And be sure to also follow us on the Instagram, Ringside Right Now, all one word. And we're even trying to get our TikTok up with Ringside Right Now. So as we get stuff more uploaded, you guys follow us on there as well. So, with that said, you know who I'm with. I'm with Clint. I'm with Curtis. Until next time, y'all, we'll see you Ringside Right Now. And remember, FTKO.
Injuries to test the might. Turn pro, shattered hand in the second fight. Do everything and put me in a different mind state. Stay great with the wins racked up 11 straight.